That might happen to you, Valdez.
Cassante counter.
We've seen this in the LEC.
Yeah.
It is a very strong pick, and a lot of people don't know the matchup very well because Darius has been so non-meta for so long. I mean, it's kind of one of those trap picks where in high elos you could play it, but when you get to the highest, it becomes a little bit less viable in a lot of matchups, but still an option here as they will lock in the Ahri.
Yep. That seems pretty obvious with the Vi and, of course, the Lissandra ban.
And there's the Jax you hate so much, Valdez. Could have been Darius, could have been so fun, but nope, it's going to be Jax.
Jax gets dunked on early if you don't play perfectly, so we'll see if Rooster's got it in him to not die that much.
All right, Feisty living up to his name here, going to lock in the LeBlanc, which has kind of been a older soft counter to the Ahri when Ahri, and I say older, when Ahri became popular again after her mid-scope update last year, then LeBlanc and Vex became popular again. So you couldn't ban the Gnar and the Ahri here, and when the Lissandra ban came through, you're like, uh-oh, this is what it's going to be, but we're not going to pick that one up. We want the Cassante instead. So the drafts we end up with here, a pick-based comp here for Hanwha Life Esports has a lot of late-game damage, and then KT also have a lot of pick potential with this LeBlanc. They have better engage for team fights and a lot of good peel for the Zeri.
Why are our standards so low that it's only 12 an hour, 12 a day? Like, really? Once an hour or whatever. Feisty is really trying to bait this one in, but it's not. Okay, he's getting pretty close. It actually might work to flash forward, and it is a perfect bait as Feisty will live to tell the tale.
Should be kind of free, and it looks like that is kind of been sussed out here eventually by Hanwha Life Esports. Humbug wants to look for the flank. Ult. Flash available.
Seems a little late to go in on this one, as he is just going to be 100-0 potentially. He does get the Cyclone off and will get eventually taken out, as Guan will live with the survivability of the Yuumi, and it will be enough as Feisty's clone perhaps just baiting Guan in there a little bit. But Hanwha Life Esports do get the better of this. They get the Drake, and they get the kill onto the Wukong.
Very successful so far. Humbug looking for the angle.
Trying to get on top of the Sivir, generally not a good idea, especially with the Yuumi nearby, as Feisty is desperately trying to take down the Sivir. The Sivir has survived, but Humbug will survive as well, as a nice little stun comes in from Castle, but he goes miles deep into this one, probably a little bit too far, even though you are Cassante.
We use kilometers in this country, Valdez.
Absolutely.
Feisty!
Feisty!
Oh, Yuumi OP! Call Freak! Push the patch schedule up! Here comes KT, grouping up on Drake. It's Mountain Soul, so getting this lead is going to be pretty massive. It's a 1-to-1 start here. Zeri definitely can be set up very well by the Wukong here, but they started Drake first, so Hype needs to sit very far back here. Even a few autos coming through from Lure can ruin it.
Uh-oh, here we go. They get on in there and immediately get blown up. Humbug, unfortunately, just not tanky enough to make a play like that happen. As in goes Castle, though, he's doing a great job frontlining in the pit and actually gonna nearly wipe down Hanwha Life, but the vision in the brush is going to get the best of Feisty. And the cleanup was there on the backside, although Hype is still here. A massive charm again from Roamer, as this guy is having a day out on the Ahri, and an extremely messy fight will just barely go in the hands of Hanwha, but the Drake did go the way of KT.
He's like, oh man, I feel bad about it. Okay,
Yo,
two
casters.
ships pass in the night.
Oh, not gonna have to hear from that, guys. Feisty is just getting launched into the air. This LeBlanc cannot get away from the Vi, and down he will go mid laner. For mid laner, and maybe Roamer should have taken the Magi's earlier, because he would have a total of a lot of stacks now of the Void.
Rip. I don't think it's happening, Valdez. I think he's just going to build a Void staff and win the game at 30 minutes.
It's crazy because he's being handed so many free kills on a platter by the Vi. He's playing great as well, as this is a great little hide on Bush from the side of KT. They're going to get the one kill, and Roamer says, I don't care, I'm super strong. He nearly gets in there with a kill, but Feisty's clone will also get away. Very nicely done. And Roamer still has not bought a Magi's. To be fair, I feel like actually in this game he wants certain items really quickly.
Yes, that's why he's not doing it.
The Void Staff, he has no penetration otherwise in the build, right? So it's really good, especially with the levels coming along. And the stopwatch is always going to be good. I'll never disagree with that. Oh man, just just give this guy like 2 MVPs right now. Like, what is going on with this Ari is just insane. Guwon goes in, but guess what? He's got a stopwatch as a massive follow-up engage comes out from KT as Hamalife stacked for it. It might not matter as Rooster is looking for the kill, but Castle gonna get this back line.
How many kills for this Ari?
Got a stopwatch. Why does everybody have a stopwatch in this game?
Ari almost actually gets the whole team.
It's pretty good. I mean, it was interesting. I was watching actually Hamalife Esports' positioning to see how they stacked up perfectly for like the 4-man Hanbok ultimate. They were waiting for the LeBlanc and for her teleport back, and after that they all flash into the fight, fall on top of each other, and that's how. As Rooster, he is Jax, so he's not gonna mind too much about that.
Counter-Strike, pretty good ability. Here we go.
He's getting in there. He's just trying to zone them away as he will be taken out, but he will offer his team the Baron. Didn't necessarily have to do that, but I suppose an honorable play as now Roamer, he's still looking to keep them around because look at their base. Like, yeah, look at the minimap right now.
It's completely open.
If they stop backs, this could be huge.
Yeah, and they're trying to do so. Unbox clone coming out here. They're going to run to the Nexus turrets, but this opens up the Drake that spawns in 1 minute time. Unfortunately, Hamalife Esports sitting on
in mid lane.
That was it. That was actually the moment he snapped. That's when he became Roamer.
He's like, I am joining the LCK next season. Like, you watch me. This is my start point. Hanbok, a massive play. He gets 3 in the front line. As Lord, though, is going to be able to zone out the rest of the team with the Yuumi on the back, and he's doing so much damage. The ricochets from the Sivir are really the massive play here as another charm hits, of course, from Roamer, but Lure cannot be stopped. This guy is a madman. He will not pick up the Penta as it is stolen away by Roamer, which I suppose is fitting with the way he has played this game.
Roamer wants that POG, man, and he wants it bad, and he's going to get it. Valdez voted for him 20 minutes ago, but
I actually did.
Like, officially, he actually wrote it down 20 minutes ago.
And take a look at the damage. Like, yeah, at this point in the game, the AD carries are the ones that are doing the majority of the carrying, but insane charms once again from Roamer. Great play from Lure to step up and just understand that he will survive. He's got a front line. He was able to zone them all away with the Yuumi. Very, very nicely done.
The Ari Vi, we've seen it banned so many times in the LCK. We've seen it in challengers as well, banned away. That synergy that exists with these with this mid jungle is so successful here once again, albeit of course off the back of that one fail in the early game. But the Sivir pick, when you get ahead too, you could snowball these objectives so much faster because you get your Kraken Slayer spike much faster than Zeri could do anything. You have Spell Shield, you have a Yuumi to get you out of some of these sticky situations. There isn't a ton of great CC in this comp here for KT. Yeah, LeBlanc might chain you, but that seems very unlikely. You also have Spell Shield for that. Wukong is good at locking down this Sivir, which is part of why Sivir's less popular than Zeri right now, but he gets out of that first cycle in that really critical team fight. And if Cassante is getting on top of the Sivir, you got other problems in your composition. So it's really just, I think, a draft synergy problem here for KT Rolster. Like, they couldn't actually make this Wukong and the LeBlanc work outside the early game. Cassante not being too impactful in fights, and once the map opens up, the Sivir has got great wave clear. You've got an Ari to follow her, and clean HLE win.
As Roamer,
easy pog, kill participation 94.4%, doing 30% of his team's damage on a assassin champion. Didn't even finish his Magi's, but if he had chosen to pick it up earlier, he probably could have. But you know what? He was like, I'm just going to do the right build.